We did it! Yay, okay. I'm excited. Let's go put this on my face and see what we can come up with. Okay, let's get into the makeup look. Alright, I'm starting off with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And as I was saying, I don't know if I'm using this correctly, but I was seeing online that instead of just going in with a brush, some people warm it up on their fingers and then press it into the areas that they want. Some coverage, some support. I also saw this isn't like some super blurring primer, so I'm not worried about it like not performing in that way. I just want a light like filter effect, so hopefully I can get that working for me today. But I will say it feels very nice and almost like a marshmallowy fluff type situation. I don't know. Still don't hate it. Okay, I see a little something going on. All right, another e.l.f. product. We've got the Halo Glow filter, and I'm using the shade 5 Medium Tan. I initially used this all over my face, and like with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, that was too much. But I do like that it gives a little bit of coverage, so I kind of have been doing this like 3 swipe situation, and maybe just a little bit where I've got darkness, like there. Okay, in the past I've been using a brush for this, but I feel like the brush was just soaking up the product. So I'm back to my trusty fingers. It's so pretty. I definitely still like the Charlotte Tilbury, but I really like that this has a bit of coverage. And as someone who doesn't own a bunch of foundations, I like that I could use this on like a no makeup day, but when I want just a little hint of coverage without putting something all over my face. Ta-da! I am really liking this so far. It just feels really natural and it definitely boosts the glow and gives this radiance. I'm really happy that these types of products are trending because they're one of my favorite in makeup. Okay, I'm gonna try out this Sigma color corrector, and I'm just gonna use the lightest shade since I'm not doing a full face of foundation, so I don't think I'm gonna use the darker one to color correct. But I like that it has a little mirror. I think that's really cute, and I mean, it freaking should. It's almost like $30. It kind of reminds me of the Becca one, but without all the shimmers in it. Just the coloring especially, it's a bit peachy, not too orange. Yeah, I really like this situation. And now I want to see how it plays with concealer though, because this isn't a color corrector that I can, or that I feel like I can just wear on my own. I feel like it is a bit obvious that I'm wearing straight up color corrector peach pigment under my eye. So I'm gonna try this e.l.f. What are you called? Flawless Brightening Concealer. This was my mega steal at Target. It has just like a little brush tip. And I'm pretty sure this was like a dupe for the YSL Touche Éclat brightening kind of pen, which I never tried because that is a pricey purchase. But I'm super happy if I can get that experience on a budget. Just gonna use this kind of brush that kind of looks like a kitten's paw, like a little cat's helping you out with your makeup. That blends out super nicely, especially because I have really dry eyes. I put on eye cream this morning, but that was hours ago, and it still spread super easily. And quickly going back to the Sigma one, it is kind of more of like a tacky texture, similar to the Becca one where you have to warm it up on your fingers. And that didn't kind of create any creasing that I can see. Yeah. I will say I'm in this phase where I'm trying to find the perfect concealer or foundation. I already have ones that I like, but I want to find shade matches that are perfect for me. And it's been really freaking hard, and I've kind of just given up. But if anyone knows about any brands that lean super yellow, my ears are open because that's what I'm looking for. Bronzer, I totally skipped over this when I was picking out stuff for my basket, but I want to use the e.l.f. Putty bronzers. I have 2 shades. We've got Golden Daze and Bronzed Belle, and I really like using this in smaller amounts just to kind of like chisel a little bit, and then this all over. And I'm happy that I have these 2 shades because now that it's winter, I can kind of mix and match my ideal level of bronzeness, but I've totally ignored them the last couple of months in place of the Charlotte Tilbury one, that mammoth. I just want to show her off because she's so pretty. I'm so sorry, e.l.f. The focus is supposed to be on you. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the darker shade. This is Bronzed Belle, and this is e.l.f.'s Putty Blush Brush. Their Putty Bronzer one just looks kind of strange to me, so I use this instead. And this is such a dry putty formula, and I feel like this bristle really picks up and diffuses the product nicely. Sometimes with other brushes that I was using, it would pick up nothing, deposit nothing. It was not a great experience. I forgot one of the things that I really like about this formula is that it has this satin matte finish that looks really natural and also means that I don't need to go over it with a powder bronzer to set it. Now that I went into this cream bronzer phase in this summer, I'm finding myself using more products, and it's nice to just be able to dip into this and be done. It sets itself. That's enough of the deep shade. Let's go into Golden Daze. And I'm just taking this a little wider than where I use the other shade. And I usually take my Fenty powder bronzer onto my eyelids, but I want to try using the e.l.f. one for that purpose and see if maybe because it has that matte finish, it works just as well. We'll see. Okay, I'm feeling really good about the base so far. Let's move on to the cheeks. I've got this nearly expired glowgasm wand from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Peachgasm, but I swear that this is more pink than the piggasm on my skin tone. So I'm just gonna dab some on my hand and then use my finger to apply it because I still do not understand this packaging. And because these products are so big, everyone else is using this packaging and enough is enough. We need to do something else as a collective. Okay, I'm just gonna take my finger and apply it at the high points because I'm gonna go over with a pink blush, but I want this to peek through and give that glistening kind of angelic look. Okay, I think that was satisfactory. This is definitely on its last leg. I think after this month I'm gonna have to toss it. It's just getting a little dry and therefore patchy when I apply it, but it's so pretty that I can't bear to let go of it. Not in February, like this is its time to shine. So we'll have one last swan song together and then I'll move on. Speaking of moving on, let's try out the LYS. This is their satin matte cream blush in the shade Self Love. And I just think this shade, this is going to be beautiful. So in the past, I've tried a couple ways to apply this. I've used my fingers, and I feel like these blushes are really pigmented, and it's a little harder with my finger because I think it picks up just too much product initially. So instead, I'm gonna use a little brush. This is a Real Techniques 200. I think this is mostly for foundation, but we're gonna use it for blush today. Okay, I really like this way of applying this blush. I think it is way easier to blend than when I apply it with my finger. So definitely just gotta do that moving forward and suck it up and wash the brush. I think that's gonna be my motto. You know, sometimes a brush or a sponge is just better in certain situations than your finger. Suck it up, Gianna. Do I want to do eyes next and possibly throw this whole thing off the rails, or just keep going and do eyes last? I think let's just go off the rails. But let's start with brows. You know, let's ramp up. This is nothing from my makeup basket, so I'll just quickly breeze through this. Oh, actually, I wanted to take this time to talk about goals in general for the month of February. I've decided that I'm going to do a no-buy makeup-wise for February because I've been seeing all these like project pans, no-buys, low buys, and I want to get in on that too. I feel like I've been spending a ton of money on makeup just because in these times, you know, gesturing at the world, it's really easy to get that kind of comfort and happiness from online shopping. And I love makeup. There's so much makeup released all the time. It's just really easy to get that dopamine. But I want to find other ways to get that hopefully are longer lasting, more satisfying, and beneficial to me in the long term. So I'm gonna slow my roll with makeup purchasing for February, and I think this makeup basket is all a part of that, right? It's gonna help me focus more on my collection and kind of pull my eye back, my wandering makeup eye. So if you were doing a low buy or no buy, maybe for the year, maybe for until your birthday or some kind of occasion, please let me know how you're doing. If there are any tips that you have, if you've done it before. Because this is my first time doing something like this, and I'm already like, okay, my no-buy starts February 1st, so what can I buy before February 1st? Let me get that haul in, and it's like, that's not the point, girl. But also, you know, who am I to judge myself or anyone else? I think those brows are good enough. Now on to the fun stuff. For eyes, we have my controversial pick of the Charlotte Tilbury palette of pops. And I would disagree. It's not quite that poppin', but as I was mentioning, when I use a little bit of Duraline, I do get it to reveal its true self, all those shimmers and sparkles that I was expecting from the get-go. So I think I really want to use this deepest kind of chocolatey red-brown shade, and then this pink one up here. This is the most finicky one, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I've just got some of the Inglot situation on my finger, and then I'm rubbing my finger in it and then dipping it in the palette. It's a whole process. And then I have a brush here just to hopefully diffuse some of it since I'm applying with my fingers. I feel like this isn't going too bad. Okay, I feel like that looks nice. I'm just gonna quickly do it on this other eye and then we can figure out the next steps. Okay, I've kind of finished up the outer parts of these eyes and it could have gone smoother, I think. I'm gonna try again with that shade that I pointed out earlier, this more pinky one, and never been easy for me to use before, so why not try today? So I did my whole little Inglot Duraline shenanigans, and now I'm just gonna be pressing this on the center of my lid, so I don't even have to worry about winging it out. Should be easier. I feel bad. I really hope I'm not just setting this palette up for failure, but I feel like there's gotta be a way to make it work. I spent like 40 bucks on this thing. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it looks cute enough, but I don't think this is worth it. I mean, this is like a couple years old now at this point, so maybe no one's even checking for it, but if you have been considering it, I think I'd have to give this a pass, even though it looks so beautiful in the pan and in swatches online. And I don't even think this looks that bad, but I feel like I could get this look with like ColourPop shadows and not have as much difficulty like working and trying to please it and baby it. I'll give it a couple more chances this month, but this is just kind of like solidifying my original thoughts about it. But on a brighter note, I'm going to be taking Celestial from Bodyography. It's this like pinky gold box of shine, and I'm going to just pop this right in the center of my lid. That's quite nice. And I think it goes really lovely with these shadows, unfortunately. Maybe I'll put some in my inner corner. Thoughts? Okay, these glitter pigments from Bodyography are insane. I have like 5 different shades, so I know this already, but every time I use them, I'm just blown away by how pretty they are. But I also love really sparkly, eye-catching eyeshadows, so that's where I'm coming from. Okay, let's finish up eyes with this Cupid's Arrow Stylus from Nabla. This is in shade 7. I believe it's described as like a cherry brown. And I'm just gonna use this to do like a little soft wing action. I thought it would tie in nicely with all these colors. Okay, I feel like in this look it's a little subtle because it really does blend in with everything. But I like that. I like how natural it's making all these reds and pinks look. Very happy with this purchase. I forgot to set under my eyes. That's why all this glitter has been sticking to it. Let me do that real quick. And this is my Hourglass Ghost Unlocked palette. Just using the 2 kind of finishing powders in here. One of the few perks of having super dry skin is that you really don't need to worry about setting. I mostly use setting powders if they're like glowy in some way or illuminating. But as far as actually making things last longer and stay in place, they're not going anywhere. My flaky skin has gotten their flaky claws into them. Now I'm going to be using my Dior Rose Gold palette, and I'm going to use this shade down here. This shade. And that's described as a rose shimmer, but that sounds very soft and subtle, and it's not. This color goes quite hard. So I got this cute little fan brush from Real Techniques, and it's called the Sheer Radiance Fan, and they have a whole bunch of brushes in this line of like sheer, and I really like it for taking a more intense color or formula and just making it look a little more natural and not so locked onto your skin. Okay, that complements that Charlotte Tilbury Peachgasm so well. It just brings out all the peachy reflex. Okay, I'm feeling quite awesome at the moment. Okay, I thought this look might have too much pink going on, but it just feels really ethereal in a way, I think because of how light the shimmers are. And really most of the like bam is on the eyes, even though I have like a whole bunch of glitter and strobe going on my cheeks, so I'm really happy with how this is coming together. I think all that's left to do is do a little setting spray, mascara, and lips, so let's do it. Got my trusty MAC Fix Plus. Oh, another goal that I have for February, that was also a goal I had in January that's getting rolled over, is staying on top of my health appointments. I feel like I haven't gone to the doctor or the dentist in way too long, so I want to make that a priority this month. Also, YouTube. I was really close to hitting my goal in January of posting 4 times in January, but didn't quite do that. So in February, I want to post at least once a week. And I'm just having so much fun making these videos. I hope you're enjoying watching them. It feels really good to be back. Oh, and I just got this Shiseido eye curler to replace my old ass eye curler, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I do feel like it's just shaped better for my eyes, and so it gets every lash. And this Rare Beauty mascara that already like popped off on my lashes before, it's just it's performing even better now that it's able to get all the little lashes. So I'm really happy. I know people kind of balk at it because I think it's like $28 or something, which completely valid. That's a lot of money for a lash curler. But when I'm in between lash lifts, I curl my lashes all the time. So personally, it's been worth it for me to have a good quality one. Now for lips, I have no thoughts. If I could just put on a clear gloss, that would be totally fine with me, but the whole point of this is to use all these lip products I've already bought. So picked out 4 that I think might work from the 5 that I picked. And with the way this look went, I don't know, would a dark lip be too much? Should I keep it sheer and pink? But everything else is sheer and pink. Is that too much? I hope you can see the struggle that I go through every time I do a makeup look and have to pick out colors that go together. Part of me just wants to use this glowy tint from Peripera. And this is in the shade 3. Oh man, it might be too bright. No, it's perfect. I'm just so excited that this is like turning out well. I'm using a whole bunch of products that I don't use regularly, so there's kind of this fear of like, what's it gonna turn out like? And I'm really happy. Red hair come through. Okay, y'all, I'm so happy. I think this worked out super well. I really enjoyed filming this video as well and like picking out things and just kind of jogging my memory of like why I wanted these products in the first place. So I really love this idea and I can't wait to keep doing it, keep using these products. If you're interested in seeing other looks that I make using these selection of products, definitely let me know. Maybe I'll do some shorts. But also just thank you so much for watching and supporting me on this channel. It means so much. And I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.